Welcome back, my friends, to the Predictive Playbook. We're on the eve of Week 1. We have Tampa Bay playing tonight against those Dallas Cowboys, America's team. But more importantly, I have Adam Trigger, Mad George, and Jesse Schule along with me. We're going to give you 4 excellent best bets right now in about 10 minutes. So buckle your seatbelts, and here we go. The first game is going to be with Adam Trigger, and his game is on the Washington football team, which I have passionately called the Iron Condors because I think that sounds much better. They are taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in a great matchup of offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year players. Chargers are -1 and now mostly pick across the board. Adam, where are you taking us in this matchup?
So, John, this actually is a best bet for me. This is I've only released 2 things for the NFL this weekend so far. I have a 5% play, and this is the 4% play that I've released. So this is actually one of my best bets. I love the Washington football team here. I talked about it in the preseason. I backed them to win the NFC East. I like their season win total over, and I love them in this spot against the Chargers. So Washington was a team I was high on toward the end of last year. Finished with a top 3 defense in the DVOA metric, which is a really strong metric to measure NFL defenses. And I think they improved that defense in the offseason. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the elite defenses in the league. And I think their offense gets a little bit better with Ryan Fitzpatrick under center. Remember, they had Taylor Heineke in a playoff game, and they hung around with the Bucs. So, they bring in Curtis Samuel. They have a decent offensive line, and I think they're going to be able to get a little bit of a push up front to run the ball here. But for me, this is as much of a fate of the Chargers as it is of the Redskins, or the football team. I know a lot of people are high on the Chargers this year. I'm not quite as high on this team. I think they took a step back defensively. Pretty weak linebacking core. Aside from like Joey Bosa and then Derwin James, who are elite individuals at their positions, I don't think this defense is very good. I think the football team is going to be able to move the ball here, and they should be able to, score. And then you have, Justin Herbert is probably a superstar, had a great rookie season. Now he comes into his sophomore year. He's without Hunter Henry. So you wonder if that offense just comes out and starts lighting teams up. It's still a West Coast team coming to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff, which is always tough on the West Coast teams. I would have made Washington a 3-point favorite in this game. It was +1, I think, yesterday. Now you're looking at a pick most places, but I think that's a great bet. I like Washington at home. I think they get it done. Washington pick for my best bet.
Great job, Adam. You make me want to go to the window right now and bet it. Matt George here from Greece. He has a muted mic, I think. But anyway, hopefully we'll hear him. Now he's unmuted. But he has a total for us. You got it, man. We got a total coming from Mad George. It's in the Pittsburgh-Buffalo game. This line has seen some excellent steam movement. It opened at 51.5. It's down to 48.5 with a sprinkling of 48 starting to appear. Tell us what we should bet on, Mad George.
So I've seen some insane line movement on this game, and I expect this to move more and more as we get closer to kickoff. It seems like a lot of sharps came in and hit the under 50.5. It got bet down all the way down to under 48 on Monday, and then it jumped a point or a 1.5 in some shops. So we might be looking at some sharps trying to middle this here, but I mean, obviously everybody knows about Pittsburgh's defense. PFF has them ranked as the 3rd best defense in the NFL. Hopefully Watt will be ready to go if they figure out the contract issues over there. I expect Buffalo's defense to be a little bit better this year. I'm very high on Sean McDermott. He's the guy that basically took, along with Ron Rivera, took the guys to the Super Bowl back then. So I'm taking the under 48.5 here. I know that Pittsburgh didn't have a run game last year. Najee Harris, look out for that kid. He's going to be really good. If the offensive line can get a little bit of a push, they'll be able to run the ball, run some clock. I don't see Big Ben throwing it 50 times a game. Obviously, if they start with a 14-0 deficit, they're not going to be able to run the ball. But I think with a little bit of luck, this under will definitely hit.
I like it a lot, Matt George. I do. And I think people, in my opinion, that line's going to keep going down for all the reasons that he just underscored. So talk about wide world of sports. We were just in Athens, Greece, and now we're going to go all the way to Vancouver, Canada. Talk to Jesse Schule here. He's looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the Houston Texans. This game opened with Jacksonville -1.5. It's now risen to -3. The total has been static at 45 all week long here. Jesse, what is our best bet to make in this matchup?
Well, John, this is a highly anticipated matchup between two of the top contenders in the NFL. Of course, not Super Bowl contenders, but contenders for that first overall pick in 2022. And, the Texans have a reputation for being quite aggressive when it comes to setting themselves up for first-round picks. And you got to question their choice of starting quarterback here with Tyrod Taylor. They might be trying to lock up that first overall pick in week one. If you're a Tyrod Taylor fan, you better close your ears because I don't have a lot of positive things for you here. You look at the history of Tyrod Taylor as a starter. You go back to Cleveland when he appeared in 4 games for the Browns. And you might remember that Thursday night game against the Jets. Tyrod Taylor came out. He was 4 of 14 passing for 19 yards before being replaced by Baker Mayfield. Of course, as soon as Baker came in, the Browns all of a sudden could move the ball. Really respectable team with the same offensive line, same personnel that Tyrod Taylor struggled with. And then a couple years later, you see the same thing happen in LA with the Chargers. They can't move the ball with Tyrod Taylor, and Justin Herbert comes in to replace him, and all of a sudden he's the offensive rookie of the year. So, not a lot of talent on that Houston offense. Jacksonville's not exactly lighting it up either, but perhaps more motivated to take this game in week one.
I like it a lot, Jesse. I like it. I've been on that play for a while. Now my turn here, folks. We're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to do a teaser. And I'm not a teaser guy, but I'll tell you what, I like this teaser quite a bit, and I would make this a 3-unit bet. It may change to a 4-unit bet. If it does, I'll put that out on Twitter. But I am going to tease the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Rams. The Indianapolis Colts opened as 2.5-point favorites. That line has seen massive movement to Seattle. They now are -3 at the Circa, -2.5 at Westgate. Indianapolis could be one of my 5 picks for the Circa contest, by the way. And if you tease this now, you're getting Indianapolis +9, and you're getting the Rams at basically all they have to do is win the game. And I honestly could ask all of you guys, do you really think the Chicago Bears are going to beat the Rams? I don't see it. I think the Rams win convincingly, double digits at least. And then I also like how that line movement went with Seattle being contrarian, and the Colts getting +9 is way too many points. I don't care who's under quarterback for the Colts, whether it's Carson Wentz or somebody else. I think they cover that 9, and that teaser wins. And I'll leave you with this one little tidbit here in the predictive models. My models say that Indianapolis will gain at least 125 rushing yards, and in games that they have based on the teaser line, they are 62-10 over the last 15 seasons. So that solidifies my bet on that teaser. So guys, we've reached the end of the show here, but before I let you go, use punt 50 as you see at the bottom of the screen. You can combine any one of the 4 of us, all 4 of us. You can add anybody from Sportsmemo, add anybody from WagerTalk, and get 50% off a 7-day test drive. We're all running pretty hot right now, so take advantage of this and really learn from pros who actually bet their own money on the games. And that's the difference between Sportsmemo, WagerTalk, and the rest of the world, in my humble opinion. So on behalf of Matt George, Jesse Schule, Adam Trigger, and myself, and Sportsmemo.com, WagerTalk.com, and Predictive Playbook, May all the wins be yours.